Well, hello all, and yes, it's audio, and that means, well, sometimes it means, but I am joined by,
Nightmareballa1. What's up, everybody?
and we're going to do something that back in the day, when Wizard magazine was not a piece of crap and was actually being published, since it's not being published anymore, they used to do,
Before the internet.
yeah, before they had to compete with the internet, they used to do like about once a year, maybe once every 9 months or so. They would do a little thing where they would say, the best comics you're not reading, and they would pick a number and say, okay, this is the number. Anything that's selling below this number, we're going to pick the best ones, and we're going to explain to you why you need to be reading these comics. And it was great. I found many comics that I had never even knew were being published that way, and it always bugged me, given the fact that we have all of these, new, one of the reasons why Wizard isn't around anymore, other than they started being crap, is because you had all these websites that were reviewing comics and all of that other stuff. Except I almost never see anything like this. So we're going to come on here and we're going to give each one of us, we're sure we'll have some overlap, of 10 comics that we feel that you should be reading that you're not reading.
Or at least check out.
Yeah, or check out.
At the very least.
Yes. We set the bar at 30,000, so all of these books have sold less.
Oh, I thought you said 40,000.
Or 40,000. Sorry, yeah, 40,000.
I was about to say I need to do this over then.
No. 40,000. It was 40,000, and less. And the reason why I picked that was because that's pretty much where Marvel and DC's cutoff is for cancellations. So there we go. Now that we've explained why we're here, we have to explain something else. There is one company that is not on either of our list. And it's not because we excluded them because, we think they suck and they didn't deserve to be on here and all this stuff. It's the exact opposite. We would probably have
I would have at least 4.
And I'd probably have list. 5 or 6 on my list from one company. And that's Valiant Comics. And honestly, if you can't find something that they're publishing that you like, there is something wrong. You just
don't like comics.
Yes.
Like you don't like comics. Like it's not for you. Like as simple as that.
Yeah. What they are doing.
There's superhero books. There's crime noir books. There's comedy books. There's manly type man books, and there's all sorts of stuff. You can't find something.
Yeah.
That's kind of
yeah. They probably have the best comedy book out right now, actually.
Hold on, Jack. All right, I'm back. All right, go ahead.
All right, as I was going to say, they probably have the best comedy book maybe out right now.
Quantum and Woody.
Yeah,
amazing. Like it's Joe Kelly Deadpool. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, very much so. Except that I would say they even take stuff even further.
Yeah. Like that bit about the blackface. That was hilarious. My God, that was so funny.
And it just came out of nowhere.
He was like, "How is that offensive? That's a compliment. What's wrong with this guy?"
But there's something for everybody. So yes, we left them off for that very reason, just so we could include more stuff. And we both knew. I knew that we both could come on here and there's something for pretty much everybody, and that they are publishing right now. And it is unfortunate that they're not getting the love that they should. Though the people that are reading them do love them, and the critics absolutely adore them. So,
which I don't understand. Like, I mean, like even CBR, like almost a Valiant book a week gets like 5 stars there.
Yeah,
like at least one. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's crazy. But anyways, so that's that little rant. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
Okay.
My first book is one that astonished me. completely floored me because I know it's Dark Horse, but goddamn it, it's Star Wars. Like, you know what I mean? This is Star Wars, the biggest nerd thing in the history of nerd things. Like, and nobody's reading this. If you don't know, this is Brian Wood, and I forget the artist right now. But this takes place between episode 4 and episode 5, what the Empire was doing after the Death Star blew up, and it's kind of incredible. Like this is expanding a universe that's already been established without making it stupid. Like they have like it's this thing they started with. Darth Vader's actually training this chick to use the Force, and that's pretty cool.
Is it somebody who we know?
No, it's this chick that
It's not her.
No. I know what you're thinking, but no.
I'm just saying that would make sense.
Yeah, it would, but no. And she like works on like the Death Star and shit like that. Luke has this friend that, I mean, y'all Star Wars geeks will probably know. I forget his name, but he's a big part of this book. The book is awesome. Like the writing's good. It's kind of funny. Like Han Solo's hilarious in this. Like and I actually understand Chewie's emotions in this book, because I mean I like Star Wars, but that was like my one fault with Star Wars. I'm like, this big hairy thing keeps screaming, and I don't know how he actually feels. I'm just saying. but even in that book though, just by reading, you can just tell, and like looking at his face and things like that. It's a good book. Leia's great in this book. I don't understand why more people don't.
I'm wondering if, because we took our stuff from September, or right, not from August, right?
Was it? I can't remember.
Whatever. That was also the first issue for the Star Wars. I'm wondering if maybe that.
I would imagine that number's probably higher though.
Yeah. Oh, it is. That was like that debuted it like in the top 25, I think. So
if y'all don't know that's like the rejected script for
that's like the original 4, right? That's the original story. So you're talking episodes 1 through 6, all bunched up into one big giant story, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. It has one of my favorite artists on it, Mike Mayhew. But anyways.
That dude's great.
Yes, he is. So I guess it's my turn. This might be one that we both have. It kind of shocked me that it was this far down, but at the same time it didn't. And that's Mark Waid's Green Hornet.
No, I don't have that.
You don't have that one. Okay.
No.
Okay. This is the only Dynamite pulp hero I have on here, and I love their pulp books. I will flat out tell you right now, what Dynamite's doing with their pulp books is amazing. I absolutely love them. This to me right now is the best one. It's not my favorite, because right now you've got Lords of Mars, and Lords of Mars is Tarzan and John Carter, where Tarzan has been transported to Mars, i.e. John Carter. So has Jane, and so hilarity ensues. But this is probably, out of all of the books that they have done for Green Hornet, save Green Hornet Year 1. That's still my favorite one they've done so far, because that is fucking awesome. This is probably the best Green Hornet book they've done. It's a little bit above, in my opinion, Kevin Smith's, and I loved Kevin Smith's Green Hornet. So, yeah, if you're not reading this is good, just old-fashioned guys with guns taking on mobsters type story. Just excellent stuff. So, there we go.
Okay, I gotta ask you, because
Yes.
I'm not the biggest Green Hornet fan. Like, I read the first 2 issues of it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really grab me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
does it like, because it was like the first two issues like reference a lot of stuff I had no idea about, because I'm not the biggest Green Hornet fan.
Yes.
Does it get a little better with that?
It does.
Like
It does.
Okay.
I would say it's definitely written as almost to read as a graphic novel, because I'd say probably really picks up about issue 3. Since issue one's a lot of backstory, a lot of how him and Kano met, a lot of him making mistakes. It's kind of like a year one story, but not really. And by the time you get to about issue 4, it really picks up. So
I might buy that first trade and give it a shot. Josh might do that.
okay.
All right, this one I know exactly why it plummeted, but I don't. Well, I know why, but it shouldn't have. And that's Captain America. I know why y'all jumped. Well, see, I kind of don't, because it's issue 10, and this is like where it dropped off at. John Romita Jr. still doing the heart. You know what I mean? And I can imagine the numbers probably even lower now. Save Daredevil. This is the best superhero book Marvel has. In my opinion, the third best superhero book on the shelves. Don't understand why more people don't read this. Like, it's just kind of baffling to me. Like, this, if you don't know, the arc just ended where Steve was trapped in a different dimension controlled by Arn Zola. And he met this kid, raised the kid, you know, became attached to the kid. I don't want to spoil everything that happens because it's kind of epic, especially that goddamn ending. One of my favorite writers is on this book. I absolutely adore this book. Y'all should probably read this. Even if y'all, you know, y'all seen the Avengers and y'all like, oh, Captain America's cool. Well, read this book, because if you thought the way he acted in that was cool, this is the extension of that. So, yeah, check this out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, now for one that doesn't surprise me at all, is Absolution Rubicon, done by Avatar.
Here's the Avatar. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Avatar gets a lot of as a publisher because their stuff is like super uber violent.
By the way, this is one of the ones I had to cross off to make room for 10s.
But
go ahead, no, Josh.
But this is the second miniseries. The first one, the basic story is you've got superheroes. Superheroes are part of the police department, and one of them goes semi-rogue, where he starts killing people who he knows are guilty. Basically becomes a vigilante. So this is the continuation of that, where they introduce an original vigilante. Didn't like kind of the way they introduced him, because I thought that'd be a little bit more epic. One of the villains from the first one, and this villain who is complete psychopath, who, to stop the main hero, the people in charge decide to let him go and give him free reign, so he will take this guy out. And yeah, but it's uber violent, make no mistake about that. But it is. I absolutely love it, because it's very different than what you would expect from just, you know, hero goes out and starts becoming vigilante hero. It's a lot more than just that.
The violence develops the characters. Like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's not violent for the sake of it.
Yes, if you read through it, if you just like skim through it, you'd be like, oh my god, this is violent. If you actually read it, it's like it kind of goes with the story. It's like the original. I would put a lot of Avatar books, I would throw into the same thing of, if you've ever seen the original RoboCop, which is extremely violent, except it all makes sense in the context of the movie of why it's extremely violent. So,
yep,
there you go.
It's the perfect way to explain it, Josh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, this is one. I know why people don't read it, because but anyway, Lazarus from Image Comics, written by Greg Rucka, art by what's the name? I forget his name, but yeah, this story is great. This is a book about this chick. She was pretty much made from a test tube, and the deal with her is that she's constantly injected with, like, she's like a secret agent, or she's like, you're still not kind of really sure. You just know that she has a handler, and she thinks the handler is her father. You know what I mean? But he's really not. Like, you know, he's just some guy. And the guy's kids, they don't like her because, you know, she's like his do girl or whatever. And, you know, he he's actually like attached to her and shit like that. So like the one son was like plotting a way to try and kill her. But the deal with her is that she injects herself with the serum, and it makes it impossible for her to die. Like the first 2 pages of the book, she gets like shot the fuck up, and then like she wakes up, and then like beats up all the dudes that shot her, and then she breaks one guy's neck, and it's just kind of this is brutal too, but but it makes sense. But a lot of twists and turns in this. The last page in every single issue has been phenomenal. This is like an amazing book. Only 4 issues in, so you should check it out. It's from Image Comics. Check it out.
Okay. Now for one that probably none of you have ever heard of, and it is unfortunate because it is probably one of the best books out right now, and that is Rachel Rising by Terry Moore.
I didn't know you read that still.
Yes, I still read it. I love it.
Go ahead, Josh.
I love it. This is a book that literally was saved because it went digital, because it was because comic book stores weren't ordering it, and it went digital, and so then people started reading it like crazy. So this was a book that was pretty much saved by going digital. The idea of it is this. A woman gets killed, wakes up, goes home. She doesn't know she got killed, but she goes out, something happens to her, she wakes up, goes home, there's something different about her, you find out that she was killed, she's now basically a zombie, kind of, and the misadventures that goes along the way, exactly why she was brought back to life. There's definitely supernatural villains. This is very much a supernatural book. It is black and white, I will warn you, but the art is very good. If you don't know who Terry Moore is a great artist. Probably wrote one of the greatest non-superhero comics of all time, Strangers in Paradise. So definitely pick this up. It's on Comixology. I think it's on Amazon as well, as far as digital, so it's easy to find. So there you go.
Terry Moore got that money out of Rob Kirkman, so you know he a boss.
Yeah.
But that was incredible, man. He came in like a thief in the night, like give me my paper. It was amazing. But yeah, my next book is probably doesn't shock you, Josh, that is on here, but Transformers Prime Beast Hunters.
Really?
It's over.
A Transformers?
Yeah. You're shocked, right, Josh? But this book is written by like a slew of like all the big Transformers names that have hopped on and off this. Even John Byrne wrote like a secondary story on one of these. So. And it was dope, Josh. You gotta read that shit. But the dope thing about this is that this takes place during Transformers Prime. If you don't know Transformers Prime, it's one of the best Transformers shows of all time. I suggest you check it out. But this takes place during Transformers Prime, and a lot of the stories are around the universe, like what other Autobots are doing that are like scattered right now that aren't on Earth in the midst of the war, like other Autobots and Decepticons and shit. Like Brawl is in one of these issues, and it's like a really dope story with him. But he's a Decepticon. And he meets this like this young alien girl, like in this other place, and he becomes like really attached to her. But then Megatron actually sent him to her planet. I'm just gonna ruin this because the story is really touching. But Megatron sent him to her planet to mine Energon. And the thing is that her dad, that he really becomes attached to this troubled girl, but her dad is one of like the workers that guards the Energon mine, and to get the Energon he has to make a decision: do I hurt her dad, do I kill her dad to get this Energon, or do I just spare this planet? Not gonna ruin what he does because it's kind of cool what he does end up doing, but the girl ends up hating him. Let's just put it like that. I'm not gonna say he kills her dad or not, but he does something wrong. Let's just do that. Let's just put it like that. But the Dinobots are in this, which is cool. Let's see, Jetfire, all of the like the airborne Autobots, they're in this. A lot of Decepticons are in this too. You should check this out, like for real. Like it's pretty damn good. And then there's sometimes like flashes of like what's going on during Beast Hunters. Like this is one time where like Shockwave, like he hits up I forget which Decepticon, one of the other tanks, not Brawl, but one of the combiners. I can't remember. He's one of the combiners, but he hits him up and like he's like, "What the hell are you doing on Earth?" He was like, "That doesn't matter right now." Just because if you don't know, Shockwave was stuck on Cybertron during the show. I could talk about this book and this series all day. Just check it out. Especially if you watch the show. If you watch the show, check it out.
Okay. Let's see. My next book is Think Tank from Top Cow.
Still haven't read this.
Still haven't read this. This is from Top Cow through their like indie, like Top Cow, which is an Image imprint, and then they have their own imprint, which is like their more adult imprint or their indie imprint, where they do all the art's black and white. Basically, what this is you have this think tank, and all they do is come up with crazy weapons for the military. Their number one dude basically rebels, and that's the story. And it's the military going after him, and all of those little misadventures, and him feeling bad about things that he did. And it's really, really good. It's black and white, but it is awesome black and white art. Definitely check it out. It's a book I really like. It makes you think. It's very well written. There you go.
Yeah, man, the opposite of fun. That's why I hadn't read this. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I hear it is fun though.
Yeah.
The next one I'm kind of gonna like meld all the books together, and that's pretty much the Hellboy universe. I still don't get why people have dropped off this universe just because Hellboy is in hell. He's not dead. You know, at some point he's gonna be back. They've been doing a lot of stuff with the BPRD team, like different adventures and stuff. They had one book called Death Machine where they was chasing this train that would like kill people and things like that. It was kind of like a ghost story. The end of it is kind of unexpected. Well, actually, very unexpected. All this stuff is great. Like y'all should be reading this. Do I have to tell you who writes it and draws it? Mike Mignola. You know who it is. Come on. Do I have to tell you? Come on. But yeah,
he writes some of it. He draws some of it, but
I mean, for the most part, he draws it too.
I know. Okay. Let's see. Next would be Manhattan Projects.
I've dropped off this completely.
A lot of people have, apparently, because this book used to sell like crazy, and now, but the book's very weird. I will throw that out right now. This is a very weird book. Concept is this takes place roughly when the Manhattan Project was supposed to take place, except it's a different universe, and lots of weird, crazy, wacky stuff happens. I couldn't even, it would take me an entire video to explain the series because there's just that much wackiness that happens in it. It's like, what? What? That makes no sense. But if you read it, it makes sense. There's aliens. There's, de facto parts of the government. There's people leaving, forming their own governments. You basically have Roosevelt basically resurrected, and then they have to kill him because he goes insane. I mean, it's all sorts of wacky, crazy stuff. It's very good, though, and I'm very curious of where they're going to take the story, so there you go. So, Manhattan Project.
The characters are the strength of that story.
Yes,
sometimes the writing is completely ridiculous, which is why I dropped it, but the characters are awesome, and they're awesome, all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But, so let's see. Next, I got something that I wouldn't say shocked me. It was but I thought more people was reading this, especially with this TV show being on. That's TMNT. This book is pretty damn good. The one knock I will say though is that they have only had one good artist on this book, Kevin Eastman. Let's just put it like that. Like the Turtles, they look weird, man. Like Shredder looks good. Shredder looks great, especially in this art going on right now. Like Shredder looks incredible, but the Turtles just look weird. The environments look good too, but I don't know, man. It's just something about their faces. I can't really. can't really put my finger. That's most IDW books though. Like it's weird art. But the story they got going on right now, Shredder took the Shredder has like kidnapped Leo and had this chick brainwash him, and now he thinks that Shredder was the one that raised him the entire time instead of Splinter. So like he's like a member of the Foot, pretty much acting like a mini Shredder. Karai is jealous, and we don't know what she's gonna do, but obviously something. And the Turtles are trying to get him back. Shredder put Casey in the hospital. He's stable now. It looked like he was gonna die in that first issue, which scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my god, this early in this event? And I was like, balls to the wall already. But you know, it's really good though. Y'all all should be checking, especially if you like the Turtles in any capacity. You should probably be reading this.
All right. Let's see. What do we do? All right. Here's one that doesn't surprise me. Not a lot of people read. Especially since they've switched artists, but no one was reading it before then either. So, and that's Artifacts.
That's on my list too. That is on my list.
They've switched artists, but the artist that they went to is still close to the guy before, as far as
I wouldn't go that far, but
it's not as good, but it's not like jarring different. It's not like when they changed the artist on Witchblade.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, oh, that's different.
Yeah, the art's still really, really good in there.
Yeah, but if you don't know what Artifacts is, basically the premise is this. Top Cow universe, you have 13 artifacts of power. They brought together, they will change, you can reboot the universe, which one of them did, which is the big thing. However, when said person rebooted the universe, they allowed basically the old ones, H.P. Lovecraft type stuff, to come into the universe, and they're now seeping in. And you now have the whole point is they usually focus on one or two of the artifact bearers. They're leading up to a big giant battle with one of the bearers and the old ones, and this is a really, really good book, written by Ron Mars. As I said,
but like I'd say the string that ties them all together is Tom Judge.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a Tom Judge book. I mean I would definitely.
It's like Tom Judge and Friends. That's his book.
Yeah, and then whichever the artifact bearers are with him, that month. But it's a good book. Definitely check it out. So. There we go.
It's also a socially conscious book, man. It tackles like
racism
and homosexuality and
all sorts of stuff.
Really good book. Like I could probably talk a lot about it too, but I won't bore y'all. Next we got Green Arrow. Yes, I know y'all are shocked to hear me say this, but it's safe to read it now. Like before, J.T. Crew was writing this bullshit, and it was just like, I don't understand what he's trying to do. Is this a superhero story? Is this a crime story? Is this a drama? Like, is this a? I didn't understand it. I was like, I don't know. Understand?
I read 2 issues and went, bye.
Like, I didn't get it. Like, I maybe it was something I was missing. I don't know. But most people seem to hate it. Most people seem to love this now, though, and they should, because it's a whole lot of fun. With a lot of twists and turns. They're doing this cool thing with Shadow that they didn't do in the original universe. Like, I won't ruin it on the air. I'll probably tell you after we get off the air, Josh. But they brought in Diggle from the TV show, which is cool. This book is great. Like, really, really great. I'm kind of shocked that more people aren't reading it, because it's great.
I would agree with that. From what you've told me and what other people have told me, everyone's pretty much told me it's a safe book to read now. So,
like, it's so great, Josh. It really is.
Okay, now we'll go to the other Avatar book that's on my list, and that is Uber. And what Uber is basically, I love alternate history. If you don't know what alternate history is, you basically have something in history that changes, and it changes history. For example, let's say the South won the Civil War and how that changes not just the United States history, but the world history. Let's say aliens invade during World War II, that sort of stuff. So, and you can, I mean, there's a big wide variety of what you can do. But what this is as the Americans and Russians are, during World War II, are getting ready to invade Berlin, basically. The Germans unleash the basically Ubermen. They are super soldiers. And you have different types. You have the basic guys who basically are just like Captain America-esque. And then you have the big, bad, nasty, they have all sorts excuse me, superpowers, and they annihilate the Russian army, force the Americans and Brits to move back, and through this, Hitler doesn't kill himself, and they start a new offensive. They're currently in Berlin, and it's basically all of that. They're at issue 6 right now, where they've just introduced the Japanese superheroes or superhero. They introduced one of him, and then a bunch of the lesser powerful people. They've introduced one British hero who got killed right away, and they have yet to introduce a Russian or an American superhero, though there are Americans and Russians throughout the story. But it is really good. There's usually at the end of it, there's usually a big write up on exactly how the writer came up with everything he's doing. Again, ultra violent, but it is a war story, so there it is. A lot of people don't like it because it's very grim, but if you are okay with a grim story, there you go. So Uber, there you go.
I have not read that, but everyone tells me it's the most depressing shit on the shelves.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if I want to read that.
It's like I said, it's heavy stuff. It's not a fun book.
I was like, oh, this art looks good. Maybe I'll check this out. And my guy at my comic book store, he was like, man, how's your life right now? I was like, what's that supposed to mean? He was like, if you aren't happy right now, don't read this. It's just gonna bring you down more. Like everybody you care about will die. I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, and not in good, glorious ways either.
I think there's only one book left until we get to the book that we both have on our list. Oh, you already said it, didn't you?
What?
Or have you?
I haven't said it yet.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, I got one more book, and that's Conan the Barbarian. This book is pretty damn awesome. Brian Wood, another guy, I just talked about him with Star Wars. I really, really like this book. They did this cool thing where Conan and his girlfriend, whose name I can't really say, it's like Balut or Belit or something like that, Belut, however you say it, but they get high and they do like this drug, and he sees like his life unfold how it could, like they have like a son, and he's like on this island and they built this boat together. He finds this treasure, and then she turns on him and slits his throat. And then she rides off with the treasure. Yeah, and now they're doing this art where like, and then, she asks him like, she said, I would never betray, because they both see the same thing. And then after they kind of come down from their high, she's like, you don't have to worry about that and stuff. He's kind of like giving her the side eye, like, I don't know if I can trust this bitch, But they're doing this art now where they're like in this weird town where, like, people worship this, I don't know, it's kind of like this, I don't want to say a cult, but it's kind of like this religious type deal. And the last page of the last issue, oh my God, something nuts happened. And that made me go, wow. Just wow. That explains so much. But yeah, you should read this. It is amazing. Amazing. Published by Dark Horse.
How do you only have one left?
Because you did Artifacts, and I got that on my list too.
Oh yeah, so I should have 3 left then, right? After this one, okay, or 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is
I probably should have picked something else.
Nah, I know.
I got something else on deck. I got something else right now, just in case.
Okay. Well, I'll do this one, then you do your other one.
Okay.
So my next one is Fatale, and this book.
Oh, I bought the first trade of that, Josh.
Did you?
So far, I really like it.
It's really good stuff. So this is crime noir stuff, mixed in with some horror-esque stuff. And basically you have a woman, or I don't even know how to explain it without like ruining the story. You have a guy, he finds a manuscript from a guy he calls uncle, not really his uncle, and he starts reading it, and his uncle is a famous author. It's his like last untold story, and basically these other forces want the novel because the novel has secrets in it that they want, and that's the kind of first story arc. And it flashes back to the 1940s, and basically this woman who is entangled in all of this, who basically anyone who basically sees her falls in love with her, and yeah, and it is awesome. The story keeps going. I think they're either to the 80s now or they're in modern time finally. It's taken them a while to get there, but yeah, this is really, if you like kind of horror comics and you like crime noir comics, this is something to get. So there you go.
Yeah, it seemed pretty goddamn good so far. Like,
Yeah.
basically the basic premise Josh just said is about where I am in the story. So, but yeah, man, it's so far it's really good though. But okay, the one book, another book that I took off that it makes me smile that it was on this list, but then it makes me kind of sad because it's also really good, and that's Wolverine. Like, it makes me smile because that lets me know Marvel. Hey, Marvel, people are getting tired of this guy, and I love Wolverine, but goddamn, he was everywhere. You remember that, Josh?
I remember when he was everywhere in the 90s. So
Yeah. So that should let you know it's a solo book and nobody's buying it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Maybe we're tired of Wolverine. I love him, but maybe we're a little tired of him. But the sad part is this is actually pretty goddamn great. Like, they're doing this arc now where Logan has no powers, and word gets out that he has no powers because these guys jump him, and someone sees it, and like one of the bad guys, like low level bad guy, he sees it, and word gets out, and Sabretooth has put a bunch of money on this nigga's head that if you can kill Wolverine, you get this money. So like every major, well not major, but every little minor street villain, like Batroc the Leaper showed up and tried to kill Wolverine. You know what I mean? All sorts of hand agents, fucking Silver Samurai and all, a lot of old faces from his past. They've shown up trying to collect this bounty. It is very entertaining seeing him and Shadowcat's with him, pretty much helping him because she's the only one that knows about it because he wants to keep it from the kids in his school. I don't want to ruin why because it's kind of an important part of the story, but it's a lot of fun just seeing them just run from people. seeing Wolverine just run away from a fight is amazing. And it's funny because the first time he popped his claws without his healing factor, they really made that a big deal. Because it's one panel where he pops his claws and then they just show his face, and then it's another panel where his face changes, and then it's a splash page and it's yeah, it's amazing. This book is great. Y'all should all check it out. Written by Paul Cornell, a guy who's really hit or miss, but he's very hit on this book, so y'all should check it out. You can tell he wanted to write it.
Okay. So we'll do my next to last one, and then we'll go on the rant on the last one. Because, yeah. But my next to last one is probably my favorite book on this list, and that is Elephant Men.
I don't read that.
I know.
I know I should. I feel like a bad geek, but I don't read it.
This book, not a lot of people read it, and I think it's because it's a little weird for people. Which I think the concept is a little weird. The idea is this: sometime in the future, you start getting animal-human hybrids that are basically grown in a lab, and they become basically bred to be soldiers. There's a war involving these things. Eventually they are freed by the UN or some other thing, and the ones that are left are put into normal society. The main character is Hip Flask. He is a police officer, and it's kind of his adventures and then also adventures of many of the other ones that are in here. They call them Elephant Men, even though they're like Hip is a hippo. There are elephants, which is where the Elephant Men name comes from, but there's rhinos and giraffes and zebras and alligators. The Chinese made tigers. There's all sorts of. There's a weird like World War like that happened before backdrop to it. It's really really good. They just started a new story arc where basically you could pick it up and start reading it. It is. I love. Marquine has heard me scream about this book since I started reading it. I love this book to death. I have yet to find an issue where I think the art is bad. And I think they're at issue 53 right now. So, and it's not like they keep the same artist. Usually the artists stick around for like 1 or 2 issues. So, there you go.
I'm kind of shocked you don't have a certain thing on your list.
What?
Skull Kickers.
I thought about putting it on there, and then I didn't. So.
Yeah, there was a lot I cut off this list, y'all.
Yeah,
like y'all, I like 4 Transformers books, so I picked one. Let's
but yeah, Skull Kickers would have been one that I would have. I thought about, but I had to leave off. So
there are a lot of great comics right now.
Yes,
a lot.
Which is part of the problem is that there's a lot of books that are excellent, and with the price that comics are now, it doesn't make it easy for people to read them all, which is unfortunate. But I would say there's, particularly outside of Marvel and DC, and if you look at the comic sales list, it is so dominated by Marvel and DC. It's not even funny.
I'm just gonna say Marvel, like
yeah, it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe. And you start reading like some of the stuff, like the stuff that a lot of people read, and you're just like, people read that? Really? I mean, it's just it's amazing to me. Given
I wouldn't say it with Marvel anymore.
No, but I mean, well, there's some of the X books that.
I mean, a lot of people like the X books right now, Josh.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't read them, but
I'm just saying that there's stuff on.
But
there.
like, yeah, the DC stuff, like all those Bat books and all those like ridiculous like titles they don't need and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Like why is Superman? I know he's Superman, but that book is horrible.
What, Unchained? Unchained?
Yeah.
I didn't like Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just weird, man. I don't understand. I love Scott Snyder, but that book is nothing.
Well, you know why it's nothing? What's missing from that book?
Let's see. Lois is not in it at all.
There you go.
But
There you go. How do you have a Superman book without Lois Lane?
Well, I take that back. She's in one small part of issue 1.
Yeah, but come on. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean. I mean, come on. That's, what's even her purpose in the DC universe now?
To troll everyone that remembers the old. See, this is gonna turn into a rant, man. Let's just move on.
Okay, so we both have one book left, and it's the exact same book. So, and it is a book that should not be on this list. I do not understand why this book is on this list.
I'm kind of like, if it was like new, I could kind of understand. Like if it wasn't what it is, like if it was the first time this series has ever been released, I could kind of understand it, but it's not, and that's just kind of weird.
I know, and that is Astro City. Kurt Busiek's Astro City at that.
Yeah, it's not some other guy writing Astro.
Yeah,
this is Kurt.
This is him still doing Astro City. And if you've never read Astro City, turn this video off, go to Amazon, buy the very first trade. I will guarantee you will buy the second trade. And then you will buy the third trade. It is that good. for those of you that don't know what Astro City is Kurt Busiek basically giving his own little playground of superheroes, his own little universe. There's heroes you recognize because there's that's yep,
the Samaritan, Wing Glory.
Yeah. The first family.
Yeah, the first family.
Stuff like that. Just these characters basically. They're archetypes of other characters, and you've got a character named the Gentleman who looks very much like another superhero. I mean, it's all of that sort of stuff, but it's this universe that he's kind of woven together, and a lot of the stories are not told through the superhero's eyes. They're told,
and a lot of the better ones are told through the civilians.
Yeah, through
the people that live there.
Yeah, through like other people or through like secondary heroes' eyes who aren't even part of like the main story necessarily. You'll have like a main story going on, and then you won't actually get to the main story till near the end of the story arc because you've seen the story through like other people's who's not actually part of the story's eyes. So
and that's kind of cool because you're like, oh, I remember when that happened.
Yes,
it's a lot of moments like that.
There's a character, or there was a character named the Silver Agent, who was Captain.
You mean Captain America?
Yeah, Captain America. And I will tell you right now, if Kurt Busiek had written the way that he killed this character as Captain America, people would lose their shit. You don't agree?
I totally agree. And the death of Captain America is great, but I love you, Ed Brubaker, but if we would have got that, yeah.
I mean, and the thing is through probably the first 4 volumes of the book, they keep leading up to what happened to him. Because something happened to him, but you don't know what happened to him. And when you find out what happened to him, it's like...
And then they put out that one and done with.
And you're like, holy shit, I wasn't ready for that. So, but yeah, there's all sorts of heroes, there's all sorts of stories, there's lots of...
There's even a story that in the original series that involved like the elements, like the weather and shit like that. Like this book is great.
Yeah, there's a story which deals with timelines being shifted.
That was great too.
That is amazing. There's a story involving an animated character in a comic book, which is cool.
And even in the new series, there's a story with this guy. He's telling a story, and then you find out more about the guy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And it's like it's one of the most shocking last pages I've ever seen. And he warns you too. He was like, "Get ready, hold on to your hats for this last page."
Yeah, but it's good stuff. It's what do you have to add?
What you say?
So what do you have to add?
What to what you said? Nothing.
Yeah,
like
I mean it's
pretty much exactly what you said.
I was so happy when this got when DC did this, because this is so if you don't like the New 52 and you like superhero comics, you need to be reading this, because this is that good.
Like, I think that like Busiek should just like get the fuck away from DC somehow and like make this like his own little like universe somewhere, and then have like little superhero stories and shit like that. You know what I mean? From this universe, like the Samaritan have his own ongoing Wing Glory. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure somebody like Dynamite or
Yeah, I know.
Somebody like that will pick this up.
Probably. I don't know. You can tell when on his Twitter he's not the biggest fan of the New 52. So. But
none of the guys that work for you look at Greg Ruckus, you look at Mark Waid, you look at...
yeah, it's weird because it's like he still technically works for DC, so he's always kind of like he lets stuff slip, but then he's like, he's not like Mark Waid, which is like burn it and kill it with fire.
He be throwing everybody under the bus, man. He don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like he'll say some shit and then he'll be like, and then everyone catch him. He'll be like, I'm just being honest. Like this shit. What did he say? He was talking about who was writing Superman. I think he was talking about Morrison. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think he was talking about Morrison. I think he was either talking about Morrison or he was talking about Loeb. I couldn't figure out which one he was talking about. But yeah, he's not a fan of the New 52 at all.
And I remember when Marvel Now happened, and people was like, "Is it going to be like the New 52, where everything's going to be wiped away?" He was like, "No, we're not doing that BS.
We're not doing that." Believe I
was like, "Well, damn."
He was like, "No, we're not doing that." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." It was kind of like I wouldn't be here if we were doing that. That was pretty much what he was like, "No."
But yeah, and that is so much better than the New 52, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
God, New 52 is so bad.
I don't understand. Okay, this is gonna be a rant. I don't understand how people still have this argument that DC is the best publisher on the shelves. like you can't even argue because before you could argue the creators. Like even if you didn't like what they had, they still had big names. They didn't have the names they used to have. Like who's like the biggest name they get? Johns is the biggest name they got.
Snyder and Johns is the biggest.
That's it. That's all.
Well, I guess they technically have Lee when he actually does stuff. I
mean, I like Azzarello, but would you call him a big name? Would you call, I like Justin Jordan. He's definitely not a big name. I like,
No, I mean, look, what's his name? The guy that wanted to do JSA.
James Robinson?
Yeah, and they told him, "Oh no, we have something planned for that." And then literally he saw what they had planned for it, and I think he's doing cartwheels that he has no part of it.
Because I remember he was like, they just never called me, and then he put something out where he was like, after seeing what they had, I see why they never called me.
It's like, oh my God, what the, and it used to be, you had Vertigo. So even if you said, the main universe was blah, but even the Vertigo titles now are.
And it got rid of the chick.
Who was the head of Vertigo.
Yeah, which is stupid in itself.
She'll wind up somewhere.
I don't get what they're doing. Like, I just don't. I don't understand it. It's like they do the opposite of what people actually want to see. Like, the New 52 didn't need to happen. If you wanted to relaunch everything, just like simply relaunch everything. Don't make us think that, we're not going to lose everything in the process of you doing this. Like, remember how they was like, oh, this isn't a reboot, this is a relaunch. Yeah, Barbara Gordon can walk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you changed major things about the universe. It wasn't like like Marvel Now.
But we now have a Superman Wonder Woman book.
And they're together, and Lois Lane and them. But this isn't a relaunch, though. Like, come on. Like, how do you expect us to feel? Like, as fans. Like, I wasn't even the biggest DC fan to begin with, but there was books there that I was reading a good bit of titles. You know what I mean? Like, everything Green Lantern, up until Johns left, I read, I won't lie. I was reading... I think that's it. Never mind. But like, the point is that we had that, and you pretty much lied to us. It wasn't like Marvel Now, where everything is still intact and you can tell. It's just now everything has a jumping on point.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, that's how it was.
And yet,
the only thing that seems different is that the Hulk kind of acts differently. That's about it. And they explain that because they split apart and then they got back together.
Yeah. And because they held off on Spider-Man until they could do the whole Superior Spider-Man thing. And
regardless of how I feel about it, I can't argue with how it's executed. Like, they hadn't done it wrong.
They right. I mean, even that, which I hate. I hate it. But anyways, it's still better than One More Day. But we won't go into that.
Come on, man. You didn't like One More Day?
Fuck you.
Make a deal with the devil.
Fuck you. That's just bad.
When it happened, though, I knew it was a mistake. As soon as he took off that mask, I was like, how are they going to fix this? Like, yeah, it was a holy shit moment, but I was just wondering how they were gonna fix it.
We're gonna fix it by the same way DC fixed Lois and Clark. Brilliant.
No, no, it wasn't the, it wasn't. No, I don't know. I don't that whole thing just.
You know, one of the one
You still
things.
recording, John?
Yeah, I'm still recording.
This is awesome, guys. You're gonna get all of this. Yeah.
But I mean, I just can't. I read one DC, but I guess with Astro City I read two, but that's it.
I read. Hold on, let's see. Batman, Wonder Woman. I guess I gotta count Astro City. I guess I gotta count the 100 Bullets thing that's about to end. I was gonna put that on here too, but that's about to end.
Mm-hmm.
And Green Arrow. I think that's it, and there's 52 fucking books.
What about your other book, your Old West book?
Oh yeah, I still read that. Yeah, that's good. That's still good. Cause Jimmy Palmiotti, man, that guy, I love that guy. And his wife is beautiful. Like, they were at Dragon Con, and my God, his wife.
Yeah, she's hot. Yeah.
Man. That's what I think he draws when he used to draw Tallulah Black. I think he just put dark hair on her, and he didn't draw her, but I think that's what the artist did. Like, put dark hair on her and scars all over her body, because she was shaped exactly the same. It even looked the same, like without a hat. It was kind of funny.
Huh. That's what Linzer's, that Linzer's wife looks just like Dawn.
Oh my God, that lady's beautiful too.
That's where he gets the idea for Dawn from. So
these comic book guys, they do so well. They do so well.
I don't know. I still think Silvestri probably did the best.
Yo, man, his wife, my God. That's why I think all his female drawings are just his wife over and over.
You think?
I think that Sarah from Witchblade is just his wife. Like when he was drawing her.
Jesus, it's like, fuck, dude. And he'll tell you, he goes, I'm married. I married way above my qualifications. It's like, fuck.
All the time he'll say that, and it is obvious.
6'6", lanky motherfucker.
That looks exactly how you would expect him to.
Yes. Except he's 6'6".
And then you see his wife. His wife looks like a WWE diva or some shit.
You're like, what the hell? But yeah.
I hope you're not still recording.
No, I'm